She was a newborn and she needed to be bottle fed.
This lady had a little lamb,
I was receiving some heat from my husband.
but the lamb had to go.
The lamb was making a mess.
And after she gave it away,
I said, I just need you to love my lamb.
They had a farm, the right place for a lamb.
there's not one thing she knows.
Then you changed your mind.
I went back and said, I think I've made a bad mistake.
Judge Judy.
Miss Sear, the facts of the case as they relate to legal appear to be relatively simple. You somehow adopted a very young lamb who had been rejected, according to you, by its mother. And you did that in April of this year?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have any other pets?
I do.
What kind of pets do you have?
I have 4 dogs and a cat.
And where did you get this lamb from?
We found her on a Craigslist ad, and we picked her up in Wisconsin.
What were you doing looking for a lamb?
Well, it was a story that I'd like to share, but I'll try to condense it.
No, I don't want a long story.
I
don't want a long story.
Yes.
You got a lamb.
Yes.
Now, lamb, you know, is not a domesticated animal.
Correct.
They're supposed to be outside. Was it your plan to have this lamb outside?
Yes, big picture, it was my long-term plan, yes.
Big picture, long-term plan. What does that mean?
Well, she was a newborn, and she needed to be bottle fed.
Well, that was for a while, but then it
Yes.
got to a point where she was no longer in need of being bottle fed.
Correct.
Now, according to you, that formed a basis of contention. The husband was not happy with the lamb in the house.
Right.
The lamb was making a mess.
That's true.
And according to you, one evening, you didn't get up to let the lamb out, and the lamb messed up all over the house. Your husband had had it. And you started to look to rehome the lamb. How old was the lamb at this point?
About 4 months, 4.5 months.
And you put an ad on what?
On Craigslist.
And they answered the ad.
They did respond to my ad, yes.
And you took the lamb to their home.
Yes.
On what date?
I think it was August 4th of this year.
And you gave it to them.
I would say I delivered her to them, yes.
No, you gave it to them. Because at the time, that was, according to you, you were selling the lamb for $150. You got to their place. Do they have a farm, a rescue? Is that what they have?
They have a beautiful farm, yes.
And they offered to give you the $150 for the lamb.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you said, I don't want the $150. I just want her to have a loving place.
I said, I just need you to love my lamb and care for her.
So you gave them the lamb. That's what the law says you did. You brought it to them, you left it with them, you gave it to them. You opted not to take money for it, but to give it to them because they had a farm, which is the right place for a lamb. Then you changed your mind. How much later did you change your mind?
Your Honor, I'm not sure I was convinced even in the moment
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you were
Okay.
convinced of. I'm telling you what the law is. What was in your heart, was in your mind, is irrelevant in the law. You gave them the lamb. My question to you is, how much time passed before you changed your mind?
So this was on Saturday, I brought them the lamb, and on Monday I had shared by text my heartache. On Tuesday I went back and said, I think I've made a bad mistake.
Okay, so they had the lamb Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You wrote to them and said, I want my gift back. That's what the law says. And they said to you, you can't have your gift back. Your lamb is in a good place.
No.
She said, you can have it back.
Your Honor, my proposed plan was I want to just propose an idea to you, and I would like it if you would consider this idea. And that was, would you care for my lamb while I prepared my home to get her a friend and get her a place that was properly set up so that I can bring her home to me? I'm heartbroken. And she said yes. She would not get into my way so long as I felt like that was the best decision for Ellie. And I said, okay. And so I started to prepare that evening, researching things that I thought would be a better space for Ellie. And I found some things like I wanted to build
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care what you found. So that night you started to do research.
Right. And so the very next day I said, okay, I haven't had a chance to talk with my husband yet, but I think I know what I need. I'd like to come get her. And she said, okay, be here by 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. And so that next morning I received a text that was about 6:30 by Miss Heidner that she had a change of heart and she wanted to come look at my home to see that I was suitable. And I offered her to, you're welcome to come look at my home. And then she continued to tell me all kinds of other reasons why I wasn't suitable.
Okay.